coaster leads to a much higher throughput on the Hyper Twister. The difference in profit is even larger, with almost a factor of 2. As you can see, the Hypercoaster loses in pretty much every way. It has a high support limit and high capacity trains, but because of the slow chain lift it can't make optimal use of that. And both the Giga Coaster and Hyper Twister can easily reach a higher throughput. Its stats are also easily the worst of the 3, and that is without taking the potential lateral G penalties due to lacking banked sloped turns into account. This means you make less money with it and get less park value from it. This is what makes it so incredibly disappointing. The Hardline coaster is designed to be wacky and interesting, so it doesn't need good stats to fulfill a unique role in the game. The Mini Suspended coaster is designed to be pretty and scenic, so it also doesn't need good stats to be a valuable addition to the game. The Hyper Coaster is designed to be big and epic and have great stats, but it fails to achieve that, so it has no important role in the game and is almost entirely useless. There is nothing redeeming about the Hypercoaster. And that was my rant about my least favorite coaster type. To summarize, I'm not mad, just incredibly disappointed. If you liked this video, consider giving it a like or leave a comment. You can also subscribe or follow me on Twitch. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video. Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Rollercoaster Tycoon 2 is a game that attempts to simulate what it is like to run a real theme park, and it does so reasonably well. But there are still plenty of moments where it doesn't quite work like real life would. In this video I will point out 10 situations where the logic of the game is just a bit weird. Most of these are there for gameplay reasons or because of computer limitations of 20 years ago, so this is not a criticism of the game. In fact, I think that they are part of the charm of Rollercoaster Tycoon, and all I want to do in this video is have a bit of fun and laugh at the silliness of my favorite game. Before we start, I want to try something that I haven't done before, but I have seen others do. If this video gets 6,000 likes in the first week, I will make a part 2 with 10 more weird logic moments. I have no idea how reachable that number is, but let's just see what happens. Oh, and one more thing, if you know of any more weird logic moments, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Number 1. Roller coasters are much cheaper than they are in real life. The Goliath in Walibi Holland costs roughly 11.5 million euros to build, but in the game it's yours for less than 25,000. You can also get a merry-go-round for 460 euros, an Enterprise for 800 euros and a log flume for a few thousand euros. Running the rides is also very cheap at a few hundred euros per year at max. This is cheap enough that reasonably well-off people should be able to pull a Phineas and Ferb and build a roller coaster in their backyard. Number 2. Almost all cars and trains seem to be filled with high explosives. A crash on a roller coaster can be devastating, but I don't think that in real life a roller coaster train has ever exploded into tiny little pieces. Even weirder, the dinghies on the dinghy slide will do the same. What kind of gas do they use to inflate them? Pure hydrogen? Number 3. No one in the game is able to swim. Whenever you build path over some water, you have to be really careful to make sure that no guests fall into the water, as they will drown within just a few seconds. The Roller Coaster Tycoon world has many islands and beaches, so why on earth has no one ever figured out that it might be a good idea to be able to stay alive for more than 5 seconds when you fall into the water? Number 4. Guests may not be able to swim, but somehow they are able to survive any amount of G-forces. Build a roller coaster with 10 positive Gs. In real life this would at least seriously harm your guests, but in roller coaster